game. Michelle Mullen, Sue Neidig, the number 2 and the number 3. And Michelle Mullen will start the match. Michelle averaged 226.6 for the week and averaged 216 on this pair of lanes.
Very good week. She's been bowling well, but just not getting to the telecast this year.
Opens up with a nice shot and a solid 10-pin. Yeah, made the finals every week, right?
5 of the 6.
5 out of 6. And just missed the telecast in the very first show in Las Vegas. Ended up 6th in that event. Easy spare up in the first. And let's see what Sue Neidig does coming off that 192-171 victory over Carol Norman.
And Sue about equal on the lanes. Actually striking one more time on lane 36, but pretty much the same across the board.
A little high with the opening shot on the right-hand lane, and fortunate not to have company to go along with the 6 and the 10.
And again, that's after the break. Usually we do see the players go a little high on their first shot. Sue wanting to say hello to her family and friends in Miami, and congratulations to Tara, her daughter, whose soccer team won the regionals.
No kidding. What position did she play?
She didn't tell me that.
She'll probably tell you all of them, right? That's great.
She was very excited.
Yeah, the weather in Miami today was beautiful, too. Had a chance to watch some of the golf tournament come down that way. Pretty amazing. Ray Floyd at 49 wins on the regular PGA Tour. Whew.
Well, we talked about that a few shows ago about the older athletes.
That's right.
Doing well.
Anymore, age is not the barrier that it used to be even 10, 15 years ago. I'm just trying to remember. Maybe you could help me out on the ladies' side, but either Buzz Fazio or Andy Verapapa. Probably Fazio is the oldest to win a PBA event, and I think Buzz was, 53, 54 when he did win. What about the ladies' tour? Hard to say.
Yeah, I'm not real sure on that one. The women aren't so apt to tell you their age.
Oh, and while you and I are chatting, Sue Neidig makes a mistake and takes the 7-pin off the 4. Let's see if Michelle Mullen is up to the challenge here of taking advantage of that break.
And they had a very close game in match play there. Michelle defeated Sue 247 to 238.
Four-pin stands on lane 36 here in the second frame.
And another good shot by Michelle.
I was going to say you had a chance to talk with her, and she changed a little bit on her push away to give her a better feel this week.
Right. She said she had been dropping the ball immediately when she started. And this week she's been pushing the ball out first. She said the ball was ahead of her, and she was forever chasing it to try and catch up. This way she's more in time and in sync. Now, she actually sits back when she starts. There she's pushing the ball out a little bit. Gets low to the line. Very strong release.
Oh my, and a miss of the 4-pin. Can ill afford to do that when you get to the end of the week and the lights are bright, especially when your opponent has already missed.
That ball just hooking by. Michelle is actually playing in a little farther than Carol did. She's in more around 10. She played the spare from there also. Might not be as much carry down in that area of the lane.
Very nice shot on lane 35. We'll have to wait and see if the miss of the 4-pin has anything to do with the final result in this one. Can't afford to miss the single-pin spares.
No. Well, they both did it early, so.
Yeah, I guess if you're going to miss, you want to miss in the first couple of frames so you have the rest of the game to make up for it. Oh, wait a minute. Sue with a little wry smile. I want to see the replay to see how close the 10-pin was to standing up. Ooh, jeez, that was brutal.
And that ball again, just like when she left the 7-9, did not finish hard. Ball deflected off the head pin and went left of the 5-pin.
Wow, no problem with the 10. That would have been Sour Apple City. Who was I talking to? Somebody left a couple of those last week. Good run, though, at the 5-7, but back-to-back opens for Sue Neidig spells trouble here in the semifinal game as she now trails by 12.
I'm not sure if she's still using the ball that was hooking early. She may be, and it may be time to go to the ball that finishes later so she gets a little bit better drive at the back end.
Wow, 3 opens in 6 frames, and 2 of them just missed spare attempts. Doesn't look like anybody wants to get to the title match. Are they that afraid of Dee Dee Davidson that they'll settle for third? Surely not.
I don't think so.
Back at him. Oh, no. Now it comes back the other way. The head pin ricocheting off the wall, and now she's left with an easier split conversion, the 5-10.
Ball again coming in very light. Again, deflecting off the head pin, going left of the 5-pin. She needs to find a way to get the ball to drive harder at the back end.
Look at the head pin ricochet around and doesn't even bother to take out the 5. Well, let's see what kind of a run she gives this one. If you're going to make it, this is the easier shot. Boy, nearly picked both, but 3 consecutive opens and disaster has struck for Sue Neidig in the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th.
And after winning 5 matches in a row on television, she's going to have to sit down and regroup and figure out what's happening out there.
Well, Michelle's going to get to the championship game if she just survives here in match number 3. Strike here, though, would put the heat on early on here in the semifinal. Left with the same that she was in the opening shot on lane 36, a soft 10-pin. Back to the spare ball.
Right, switching to a very hard surface. That's one of the hardest surface balls out here. Changing that so it will slide all the way across the lane.
So the Ebonite staff member changes equipment and takes out the 10-pin. Psychologically, from her perspective now, Jan, is she relaxed because she knows that Sue's already opened 3 times?
I think it's got to help her a lot. She knows she's got an opening. That helps you any time during match play when they give you an opening like that. She can be relaxed and just go for the pocket.
Mm-hmm. Instead of doing that, she re-racks on lane 35. Oh, those look dead on spot to me.
Look pretty good. Sometimes a player will take a re-rack just for the purpose of getting a little extra time. They want to dry their hand. They want to think about something, regroup.
Michelle threw a perfect shot on the left-hand lane the last trip. And she repeats it. Could have been a turkey, but instead it's strike, spare, strike, but she still leads by 23. The amazing thing is, after 3 opens, Sue Neidig is still within shouting distance.
And that's because Michelle hasn't been carrying, but it appeared every time she gets the ball out actually to about the 8th board, she carries. If she pulls it into 9 or 10, the ball hits a little weak and does not carry.
Sue stood there for an extra half a second watching just to make sure that the 5, the 7, and the 10 all went down.
And that's a great comeback after 3 opens.
Well, you're not kidding. It'd be fun for Sue to get a chance to head home and celebrate that victory. It's tough when you went out on the road, especially if you went early on in a swing, because by the time you get home, 4 or 5 weeks have gone by.
It is. You want to see your family and friends right away after you win.
Pulled that one and nearly got away with it as the 6-pin wiggles but will not fall. I like that shot, though. An aggressive shot. Went up there trying to double and get back to within 13.
Very aggressive. She knows now that she has to make the ball drive hard, so she's going right at that head pin. Very aggressively. That could have carried. Mm-hmm. She tried to stare it down.
Fair up for Sue Neidig. A 23-pin lead for Michelle Mullen, who's trying to bowl her way into the title match. And welcome back. That is the finishing touch on a three-bagger. Back-to-back strikes in the 6th and the 7th. A commanding 43-pin lead for that young lady from Matson, Illinois.
And Sue's going to give it her best. She's still out there trying to get that ball to drive into that pocket.
The bid to win twice in a 3-week span starting to slip away for Sue Neidig. Up high again this time on the head pin, but after one leaves the 5-7 and the 5-10 after hitting the pocket, I'd be throwing it high myself.
You have to, because she knows that if she doesn't go aggressively towards the head pin, she is not going to carry. Not only not carry, but leave an unmakeable split.
The run of 5 consecutive wins on national television. Looks like it's going to come to a screeching halt here in the semifinal game of the Yuma Open. But a terrific swing of 6 weeks for Sue Neidig, who captures her first tournament. Makes 2 championship round appearances.
And she's thrilled. She's going to go home very proud of what she did here these 6 weeks.
Came out on a mission to win that first title. There's the wall shot, but she still can't shake loose of the 10 pin. She threw the ball around the pocket the entire game, just never really had anything happen.
Right, a lot of bad breaks. It was a much better game than it appears.
How important it is to have the right angle, the right speed, and the right carry. You know, it's so interesting to me. You can hit the pocket with 50 different balls with different weights and different surfaces, but only a select few will really give you the kind of carry that you need to get to a top 5 finish.
That's right, and that's the way it was this week. Players could strike, but you had to find the right piece of equipment, and that's why the professionals carry so many bowling balls, because a little bit weight change or a little bit different surface of the ball makes a difference of whether you throw strikes or a 9 count.
Michelle Mullen, see, on the other hand, has a wonderful reaction in ball roll, and every light hit that she's come close to is just shaken free.
Right.
Michelle Mullen there with a strike in the 8th. Now has a 4-bagger going, and she leads by 45. And for Sue Neidig, travel thoughts perhaps. Week ended too early. Had a good track shot. Boy, look at the 5-pin just dancing into the sideboard and then back in the other direction.
Didn't get that 7 out that time, but great ball reaction. Pins are flying around. She's going to carry most of those shots. Over the break, she worked with Paul Marcinek, a ball driller in Chicago area. Worked on some new type of weights for her, and worked with Dan Gold, a professor, on her mental game.
And she's been to Akron on a couple of different occasions to work out with Team USA Olympic coach Fred Borden. So she's gone through the whole gamut, right? Physical game, mental game, and equipment, which is what you have to do if you're going to compete out here. Michelle already a winner. Sue Neidig has finished 3rd, and so it'll be Michelle Mullen and Dee Dee Davidson for the Yuma Open title. Sue Neidig just struggling to strike on the right-hand lane, but nevertheless, a very good week. Michelle Mullen just ponders the future in that title match.